So, can you tell me the story about the two police officers that went into the house across the street?
Sure. It was summertime. I was in bed, and the houses are very close in this old area in Clintonville. So I was used to a lot of noise on the street. It's always noisy in the summertime. It was after midnight. I was still awake. The windows were open, and a police car drove up, and oh, that's interesting. So I'm moving to the end of the bed so that I could look out the window and watch these guys. Two of them got out. They went up to the porch and knocked on the door. There was no answer because there were no lights on in the house across the street. And they came back to the car for just a few minutes, and then they went back and they went into the house. I don't know how they got in. I don't know if it was open or if I just don't have any idea. But they did not turn any lights on. Each of them had a flashlight, very powerful flashlights. And I could see them going through the whole downstairs, flashing, with their flashlights, looking for something, I assumed. But there was no sound of any kind. And then they started up the steps, and you could see the flashlights going back and forth as they got up the steps. And you could see them going in all the rooms in the upstairs just from where I was, because of course it was right at eye level from where I was watching it. And after they had done that, they just simply came back down the steps and closed the front door. And as they came across the street toward the car, one of the officers said to the other one, "Did you see what I saw?" And the other guy said, "Yeah." And they got into the car. That's all. I've always wondered what on earth they saw.
I love
there.
it. Yeah, so that story, when you told me it when I was younger, don't know why, it might have just fascinated me or maybe scared me a little or just like freaked me out because I wanted to know what they saw too, because it could be anything. So with that story, can you remember anything maybe that you were told when you were younger that like scared you or freaked you out or interested you or anything?
The only one that I really remember was that I had friends, two of my girlfriends. When I was very young, we were not more than maybe 7 or 8 years old. We were having a slumber party, and this was in the house in Marion. And we were sleeping on the floor downstairs in front of an open window because it was summertime. It was extremely hot. And two of the mothers were talking in the background. Even though all the lights were off, they were sitting and chatting. And one of them told the other one about a house in the neighborhood that had been broken into by somebody climbing in the front window. And of course, no, I was scared the rest of the night. And actually for a very long time I was afraid of one-story houses. I always wanted to be, on the second floor somehow. So whatever it was, although we never had, it just stayed in my mind.
Yeah. So that story kind of scared you just because of
Just because I figured that when I went, even when I was sleeping upstairs, I was aware that somebody could be coming in the downstairs.
Yeah.
And for a long time, when we moved to Merchant and it was a one-story house, I was afraid almost every night there for a couple of years because I thought people could come in the window and they'd be right in my bedroom.
So does that story still scare you, or?
Actually, I still feel that kind of, tremor kind of when I think about it. But I have no problem at all. Now I live in this house. It never occurs to me that somebody would get in here.
Well, that's good. So you said you were about 7 or 8?
Probably.
And then you just heard it from the two other moms talking.
Yes, the two moms were talking behind us, and they were kind of whispering, but I always had good
Yeah.
ears. And they thought we were asleep, probably.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, cool.
you have to be careful when you're a mother.
Yeah. Kids hear it all.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Well, thank you for your story.